Hello, my name is Nikhil Sehgal, and I'm here with Mr. McCabe today to interview him about him joining the Air Force. So my first question for you, Mr. McCabe, is what part of the armed forces did you join?
I joined the Air Force back in 1990 and served till 1994.
So what do you think made you want to join the armed forces?
Well, I was in college and I had gone through 2 years of a JUCO, a junior college here in the Dallas area, and I played baseball, but I felt like I was just kind of spinning my wheels, didn't really have a direction. And I was also running out of money because I was working 3 jobs. I was really, really just tired, going to school, working 3 jobs, and it was very hectic. So I thought about going into the Air Force, and I talked to a recruiter, and I decided that I needed to also grow up a little bit and become a little bit more mature. So for me, at that moment in time, I felt like that was the best option that I could do for me.
Mm-hmm. And to take on this journey, what sacrifices did you have to make in order to join the armed forces?
Well, when I did it, I felt like I left everyone and everything I knew behind. And, you know, I was struggling with coming out and letting everyone know who I was, or actually hiding who I was. And so I knew going into the Air Force that might be problematic. But leaving my nucleus of my family and friends behind, that was the biggest sacrifice I made.
Mm-hmm. And what other difficulties did you encounter besides leaving your family?
Well, I was sort of having an identity crisis, not really knowing who I was or what I was built for, designed to do. Because, you know, when I was in high school, I was told, well, you're going to be a good engineer. You're going to be good at math. You know, you have all this math and science background. You know, engineering is the way for you to go. Well, that's not really who I wanted to be, and I was kind of grappling with the idea of, you know, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? So doing this kind of helped me put me on at least I thought, a track to be successful.
And that's a big decision. How do you think your decision affected your family members? How do you think they felt?
Well, you know, one minute I'm there, and the next minute I'm gone, and it was really kind of hard access. Like my first real duty station was in England, so I'm halfway across the world, you know, in another country, and you know we didn't have a lot of money, so my family just can't get up and, you know, travel anywhere they wanted, so they couldn't come over and see me. You know, that's saving a lot of money to do that. So we had to rely on communication either by phone or even writing letters.
And what part of serving the country did you enjoy the most?
The travel, meeting new people, meeting different cultures. I've been to Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Panama, England, made stops in Germany, coast of Italy. You know, I've been all over this world in certain places, and not only was I surrounded by armed services from the U.S., but French, German, Canadian. I met all these people who worked in the arms, who were part of the armed services for other countries, and getting to know their culture and their just the way they operate, and you know, it was really eye-opening. And also learning about the local cultures. Turkey was an amazing country, Saudi Arabia as well, and I made some really good friends, and some people I still keep in contact today.
And how do you think all these experiences and time serving in the Air Force changed you as a person?
Well, I definitely walked with my head held higher. I no longer walked with my face or with my eyes looking at the ground. Instead of looking down, I look forward when I walk, which means I'm also looking towards the future. I'm always looking ahead to see what's around the corner. It made me a lot more confident as a person. It allowed me to kind of realize who I was and that I could stand on my own 2 feet without the help of someone else. I became a little bit more independent.
And looking back, do you think that joining the Air Force is something you would do again if you had the choice? to go back in time?
I've often thought about that. I'm not sure if I would. Hindsight is 2020. I enjoyed my time in the Air Force. Now, you got to understand, I did not agree with armed services based on, I had a mother who worked for the Air Force as a civilian, but her position, she was passed over many, many times for promotion for a man who, quite often it was a male who had little to no experience, and she had tons of experience. So there was a very good old boy mentality of helping their fellow man out and leaving the women behind. And so that kind of put a sour taste in my mouth. It gave me a new respect for, I guess you would say, having more faith in my country, having more of a purpose, and having more patriotism. But would I do it again? I'm not sure. If I could do it again, I would actually go. I was accepted at Texas, and hindsight's 2020, and I should have gone to a big college. I should have gone through and completed my school the first 4 years out of high school. But I don't know if I would have been as mature as I turned out to be coming through the Air Force. So that's a double-edged sword. It has some good points, and it definitely had some other things that it provided me. Like, it provided me money, provided me a foundation. And so I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. That would be a coin flip.
So, what made you leave the armed forces and not want to serve again?
Well, my 4 years, my duty time was up. I had to serve 4 years. I had the option of re-upping and staying in, but I was ready to begin my civilian life. I was ready to go back to school. I was ready to just get out into the real world. And being in the armed services, it kind of shelters you and kind of, I would say protects you. It protects you by, you always have a place to live. You always have money in your pocket. You always have places to go. And not a lot of people are fortunate to have that. So I was ready to see if I was grown up enough to stand on my own.
And what do you think would be different in your life if you had not served in the armed forces?
I don't know if I would have finished college. I struggled with making money. I struggled putting myself in debt. And so I don't know if I would have been able to finish college. I might have had a 9-to-5 job where I was making minimum wage. But by being able to go in the Air Force, it allowed me to get money and to raise my credit and to take out loans and really focus in on going back to college to get a degree in which I could be a successful person in our community.
So those were all the questions that I had, and I thank you for sharing your experiences.
Thank you very much.